Okay. Well, that took a sufficient amount of time. Alrighty. What's that? Alrighty. Bring that. There we go. Okay. These go here. That way I can actually see the chat. It's just so different doing this with only one monitor. It really is. Okay. That lets me see that. So we put that here. Just in case. And it shouldn't pick this up at all as far as sound goes, so I can have this loading in the background until I do that. Yay. Anyone joining can let me know how the audio is. That would be amazing. Please and thank you. Is it? Yes. Game capture, window capture. No, you need to go there for right now. Already bad enough I have your ear in my hair because you won't stop. And yeah, I know it says on the thing, you're not supposed to do that. I've been doing it forever. I don't reckon a point to stop now, because as long as you use it wisely. Not saying I recommend doing it, just from my own stance. That whole... And the sad part is like you get to that point of legalese where it's like, oh, you can't even talk about... You know, gonna leave it, gonna focus on Genesis. Much, much better thing. Thank you. There you go, cat. Good kitty. Okay. Alrighty. Let this thing load in fully. Definitely a solid test to make sure the hardware is actually playing nice the way it's supposed to. Guys at Gadget Mates really did take care of me. It was nice of them. I'll be able to see the screen again in just a moment. There we go. Alrighty. And back to having that up so I can see that. That up so I can see that. And there we go. So. Let's do CJB because we've been doing it for a while now. And in case any of y'all wonder or joining in ever wonder, going through Deuteronomy, this is what we're currently using. But, so, Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was unformed and void, darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the surface of the water. Then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw the light was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and he called dark, in the darkness he called night. So there was evening, and there was morning, one day. Totally get going on and continuing through the rest of the days, and definitely going to as we keep going. Again, one monitor is fun, but working with it, adaptation, maybe. It's fun here, right? Because, and okay, this might stand on a couple of toes, and not trying to aim for causing stepping on of toes, because I want to foster discussion, not, you know. But it's kind of fun to me. I just realized I didn't have. There we go. Oh, wrong one. Hide that again for half a second to make sure this is. Ooh. Okay. Problems, solutions. Close these, open this. You can watch the mouse, just don't attack the mouse, okay? I'm all for you watching the mouse. Just don't attack the mouse. Alrighty, now we go back over to this one, back over to this one, jump over to this one, go, there we are. Haha, there, perfect. And then, boop. Hey, person joining in. So, now that I actually can see Genesis, it's been a minute. I really enjoy because the reason I was talking about don't want to step on toes was just kidding. Because there's sometimes you ask the text stuff that it's not really talking about. You know what I mean? Like the literal interpretation versus the, metaphorical interpretation. I look at the text and I'm kind of like, well, why ask those questions when the text might be trying to talk about something deeper? It's like in the very beginning of reality, when God created the heavens and the earth, and I love the fact that it's like, you get the kind of the sentence there in verse 1. It's kind of the beginning of the stanza, so you can see where it closes in chapter 2. At least our counting of chapter 2. But also the understanding of like this formless and void, this nothingness. Like, how do you convey an unthing? And to convey it in the time and place that they were speaking of, because their world, there's a certain structure, a certain build. Hey, this world structure is understood. The world, the earth, sits on top of pillars. You get the sea up here, and in ancient Egyptian mythology, I think it's Set stands over and acts as the barricade, and in Babylonian it's Tiamat. I'm hoping to get a better camera that's actually situated over here, so it's a bit more comfortable for my neck to talk to you guys. But so in both cultures, you have this concept, in all three with here in Israel. And so it's like, okay, do I want to have this moment of trying to read, is this literal, is this metaphorical, how does this work? Or what if I want to read it in time and place context? Because this is an ancient text that's been handed down to us. Even the quilt is ancient by our standards. 500 BC ballpark? And then going back to the proto versions of even some of the original quilt pieces that are tucked inside this library. So looking at that ancient context. So you got one group over here, Babylon. How does this work? Violence, death, destruction. This thing gets ripped in half. The body's, censored, not for kids, for, not rated for television kind of thing. Meanwhile, Egyptians, you have a whole different side of nasty, which... Google it, have fun. I'm not going to bring it up here. It's that... let's just say it would be the subject of a really interesting style of anime, and I'll leave it at that. So you have these two very different styles of stories. Violence and incest and, using these horrible baser versions of humanity to rip and tear and rend. Meanwhile, you've got here the actual, the Hebrew text. It's like, yeah, the earth unformed, there's this nothingness. And the Spirit of God, the Ruach, the breath, the wind, it hovers over the surface of the waters, this nothingness. The entire ancient context was dark waters that had to be conquered. It's why Tiamat is a representation of the dark waters, even in the Psalms, because they're piggybacking off each other's stories. It's more trash talking in a theological standpoint than it is trying to hammer home a definitive way of doing it. This is the defined structure. I do find it kind of fun, though, that even there at the very beginning, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light, which, by the very nature of linear existence and time, that means time and light were created in the same moment. So that's kind of cool, because from a scientific standpoint, yeah, light and time in an instant. It's kind of interesting how both are both a wave and a particle. Is we perceive time as a wave because we're traveling on it, but the actual events are like particles. And that's why I like the choose your own adventure story kind of parallel when it comes to the idea of free will versus predestined. You have a choose your own adventure novel. The entire novel is sitting right there in front of you. You can pick it up at any time. You can flip through it in any direction you want. You can do it however you like. But at the core of it, the entire novel is sitting on your shelf. You're outside of it. The entire thing is there. Every single point is there. But the trip as you read it happens as you read it. And so it's just kind of fun to me that even if wanting to kind of read it as this, Answers in Genesis style of definitive answer, which, hey, I've checked out their channel, I know it for a reason. There's some fun stuff. Instead of yelling at each other and saying, "Oh, you're dumb, and this is dumb, and that's dumb," just saying, "Hey, I don't know. I wasn't there." And goodness knows, most of history tends to be written by the victors. That's part of the reason I like the Torah so much, is because it's not exactly friendly. It's not a biasly kind text. It rips the leadership to pieces, whether it is Samuel's kids, Saul's way of doing it, calling out David, Samuel, or Saul. It is a heavily brutal text. And that's why I like it. Because most of history is propaganda. There's a reason we have the expression, history is written by the victors. There's a reason why the joke in certain circles is like, "Yep, it's only a war crime if you lose," And it's the same thing for a reason. It's a historical norm. There's not exactly much to change when it comes to playing the Empire games, because it's the same weapons. It's why you can't win Empire games with Empire weapons. Getting back to the idea of Genesis here, whether you read it as "this is exactly what happened" younger style, or you want to go big bang, follow the entire thing, constantly learning the new latest scientific theory and what the James Webb telescope is finding, and the different forms of life and what it looks like, and just finding everything out there that we are. Whichever direction you want to look at it, the blending of all, just taking into the word. Seeing that life, light, and time in a single moment. And why? Because existence had nothingness, and a creator likes to make. It's not violence. It's not brutal warfare. It's not vitriol savagery. It's not cruelty. It's simply the word. Yeah, that idea pops up in Revelation with John. So when he talks about the Lamb of God having the word in his mouth, right? When Jesus comes down, he's got the sword in his mouth. He doesn't have to swing a hand, and he's already pre-bloodied because he took the sacrifice. He simply speaks the word. If man lives not on bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God, then God simply needs to stop speaking. And then it's over. It's not a brutal battle, it's not a vicious call, it's just simply silence. Same kind of silence that Elisha hears when he runs to the mountain, because after a showdown with Baal and the prophets, showing that there is only one true God, as the altar soaked with water till it's drowning and it bursts into flames and everything is consumed, and he goes hightailing and running because of a crazy queen. Yeah, okay, she had she has the power to do it in the flesh. Yes, not gonna deny that. Not gonna deny that. Just gonna ponder this. Boy just consumed an altar that was soaked with fire. I'm pretty sure the angry lady is not a problem. But he ran. And it's not even calling out Elijah, it's recognizing how often we do it. How often we'll run to a tribe to yell foul instead of looking at the beauty of it. Instead of seeing just how magical these simple words are. I don't mean that in a sense. I mean just like the purity of it, the beauty of it, like looking at a sunrise. Quite apropos, considering it's the first day and there's light. Although the fun part is it's not even the light of the sun or the moon. Celestial things come later, but light is created first. And I really like the parallel with John, too. Because John, and forgive me, because I had to close tabs and stuff. Let me pull up the NLT for John. Johnny boy. There you are. In the beginning, the Word already existed. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. He existed in the beginning with God. God created everything through him, and nothing was created except through him. The Word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the darkness. The darkness can never extinguish it. The darkness does not understand it. Last little bit, because both of those translations are there, and I like that they're both there for a reason. Because both are true. Darkness doesn't understand the light, and it can't distinguish it. His light removes darkness. I think, I know from personal experience when I would do it, darkness is easier when we're afraid. When we're afraid of bringing things into the light, when we're afraid of things coming to life. I don't want that skeleton in my closet to go full zombie on me. But we miss entirely that the one who creates light and time in a single breath and word. A beautiful image of the triune God painted by John. Even there in the Shema, but I digress. Seeing that he just wants us. Sorry, I'm also slightly distracted by this. Say hi to everybody, George. Yeah, this is George. This is my just wonderful child, problem child, absolute problem child. You are. Your devoted public is right over there, Furball. Yeah. Okay, go away. Thank you. So, she's been sitting right in front of the monitor this entire time trying to pod the mouse through the keyboard. So that's been fun. Or through the monitor, rather. Continuing on, after creating light and time, I mean, why just to create? And that's one of the things that I like about the creative mindset, right? Like, whatever it might be, visual, poetry, sound, music, to create. Whatever that muchness is to create. Even if it's, bless you, even if it's just having those fun logical discussions. I mean, look at the Greeks. They had a blast having arguments. Rabbis, well, totally. And not angry argument, but like actual discussion, digging into it. Why can you have four opinions? Because it's a Socratic method. If it's something, taking in a deep look. To actually take at it from every perspective and pull at it and play with it. That's a muchness too. That's a play too. And getting to play with the word right here, because why to create? Why did God make it? Why not? Why not create? If you can. Even if it's not the best, even if it's not clinically, let it make. It's part of you. It's something only you can do. Something only you can give to the world. So why not do it? I mean, cultivating in the garden work, biblical work, is beautiment, betterment, or benefit for another. You're making life better, making life more beautiful. It's doing something for others. Which is kind of fun, because physics is... Anyway, there's a damn work joke in there. It's kind of funny, but it's more visually amusing, because you have distance, open parentheses, acceleration times mass, because work is force times distance, and force is... Anyway, like I said, more amusing visually, or written out. But right here. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that it was good, saw that it was tov. And I like picking up on that idea, like a hyperlink idea, right? Because how often does God see the thing, see and say that things are good? Let alone very good. And it's just kind of fun to start digging into those hyperlinks in those places of like, okay, why is this important? And that God divided light from darkness. The light day, darkness night, evening, morning, one day. Right there. Also, why the Jewish style is the beginning of the day starts at sundown. It's evening, morning, one day. And I kind of like the idea of it, honestly. It's like, I'm tired. How are you going to start your day? With a nap. A meal with friends and a nap. Then wake up, enjoy the day till sundown. Meal and a nap. You get the good and beautiful form of it, and adding the beauty of it there, but look at light. Look at the shadows and the shapes and the colors. How white light holds every light in it, or every color in it, rather. How so beautiful things are. Let me have a sec here. Oh, two of you. Hello. Food is here, though we'll just keep going. Let's have fun with just this one. Better bread, right? The next day is kind of interesting to me, because he doesn't call it good. God said, let there be a dome, rakia, in the middle of the water. Let it divide the water from the water. God made the dome and divided the water under the dome from the water above the dome. This is how it was. And God called the dome sky. So there was evening, there was morning, the second day. This one was kind of finding fun to me, because it's not something that God really calls good. It's just kind of, well, it's a necessity, so here it is. The waters need to be divided, so they're divided. And I find it kind of interesting, because, like, you have the creation of the sky, which pretty much all the other ancient things that we were talking about, the different groups, Mesopotamian, Egyptian, they had their own version of the sky, whether it was the product of that particular or desecrated body. And here it is just like, it's a hammered thing. Why? So they're divided. Why? Because I'm creating a snow globe so that my image can make it. So that my image can be made. It's the whole point and beauty of Genesis. And here, let me set this up so I can actually see the chat at the same time. That way, if you guys want to see more Minecraft, we can look at more of the Minecraft stuff. And if you guys want to do more of the actively seeing the text, you can actively see the text. There we go. So let me know on that one, because still kind of getting things set up here and getting used to everything. And no, it's just, I mean, let's go with the assumption that you know the basic storyline, right? The first 3 days, you have the... Okay, I might have to close this. I do know that has a memory leak, but I'm not going to talk about that, because I would do that. And I don't want to... Better, close enough to work. Gonna roll with it. Go with the basic premise of understanding the first 3 days. Light, darkness, rakia, and then the land. Day 3 extra, plants. 4 is the inhabitants of the sky, 5 and the waters. 5 is the inhabitants. Great assumption, right? Yes, the spelling. Never forget the spelling, though. Yeah, day 3 lights appear in the sky. Oh no, yeah, day 3 ground plants. Day 4 lights in the sky, sun, moon, stars. Oh, day 5 is the fish in the sea and the birds in land, and then day 6 is the animals, and then the bonus thing, peoples. Because the bonus thing on day 3, land and plants. The, it's honestly the fun of the parallel images of it, because you have the first 3 days and the second 3 days, and that's part of why I was having the blank break there, is because they line up. You have the creation of the snow globe, and then you have the filling of the snow globe. And it's just kind of fun to me looking at that, because all of the ancient worlds in their context had snow globes. So, whether the sun was being pulled across the sky by a chariot, or was wished across, or pick a version, they're all sitting up in the dome. And they're inhabitants up in the dome, and they're part of the snow globe. And that's why I kind of enjoy the looking deeper at the idea. Looking at how they parallel with each other. Because Genesis 2, or rather the second creation movement of Genesis, it's a parallel. It backs right back up to that day of, oh, here's the creation of, got the snow globe, but this version of it's too much, or too little water. First version, too much. Next version, too little. Either way, wild and waste. Either way, a place that humanity is not suited for. Oh, good. Now I just need to find a spider later. I actually feel the pig. I really am glad they put satchels in. Those things are so nice. Especially when you spawn into a place like this, you can just throw a bunch of them inside your satchel and just collect all of them so you can make a flower farm later. Yes, I am one of those kind of Minecraft players, I'm sorry. How do you play survival in Create? What do you mean? Farms. Lots of farms. I don't find... You can go find it. I'm going to farm it. I'm going to build something and be done with it. Ooh, sheep. Hot diggity. Bed. On my way. That way I can control when I have to deal with spiders. Because Zambinos are not something I want to deal with out here. It's the plains, they'll be everywhere, so creepers. As far as the text concerned, I don't. That's why I kind of don't necessarily want to, it's like say, oh, they're wrong, or oh, they're right. It's like, just let the text speak for itself, and then decide for yourself. Like, what does the text say? How does the text read to you? What's it saying? When I read it, I can see the argument and I can see the reasoning. But I also recognize and respect the muchness of a lot of people and a lot of brilliant minds that spend all of their muchness digging into this. I've been a part of Skylab. I got to play with this kind of stuff. I really enjoy it. And I've made the joke multiple times. It's like, what do you believe? The data says long period, my hope says short. Why? Because it makes us look less stupid as a species. Because if we've only been around for like 1,000 years, then like we're not that dumb. But if we've been around for 120,000 plus years and we're still doing this crap, like still using the same Eagle standard as well for the Empire game, like holy like I kind of want the smaller number just because we look less dumb. Like, I know that's probably harsh to say, but like, it's a fun joke for a reason. And I think that's why I like so much when Jesus calls it such a time and place as this holy time when talking about being under the Roman occupation. Because during the Pax Romanus, it was Roman's peace at the end of a sword. Yes, absolutely. But it was also a moment in time and place when Hellenistic thought could travel freely. And the reason I say Hellenistic thought, rather than recognize many way kind of to some regard, but the reason I find it quite lovely is because before the kind of Socrates and Aristotle and that kind of thing, it wasn't quite widely common to do the style of, reason. I mean, the rabbi's been doing it for a while, studying Torah and looking at it, ignoring it, yes, but, for the time that it was, actually, bless you, actually getting to spend time with it, as opposed to, hey, now we've got this Greek thinking, this Socratic method, this really weird and different way of doing it. I'm so sorry, I'm going to borrow some of your crops. Oh, that's just, I'm always horrible at figuring out which, there's carrots, okay, and you're all... Are you picking up your carrots? Some of these are potatoes, right? Wheat. Sorry, put that back. But it's like, it's a time and place when Jesus could encourage people to think that. Well, I mean, to think. Jew and Gentile alike had the concept of, let's look at this from a different method. Let's pull it apart. Let's dig into it. You know, it truly was a time and season when there was also calm, relatively, enough that such conversation to be had en masse, that people could travel around freely with a road system that allowed for open communication, for all those letters to get copied and move around so that we have them. Because they were copies of copies of copies that were preserved. Because everybody wanted a copy to read it. It's not trying to lessen it, like, oh, it's no, guys, it's part of the thing. That's how ancient texts were preserved. The only reason we have them is because people with a lot of money that could afford to copy them did. Because they were important texts, because they meant something to somebody. Whether it's the Odyssey, or really pick anything by Homer. These beautiful ancient texts that speak to time and place and way of thinking. I mean, that's why I like looking at the Bible for the text it is. It's its own story right there. It's inviting the reader to look at it from a different perspective. You know, why was life created? What is the point of existence? Because the Creator likes to create. Because beauty is a beautiful and wonderful thing to do. Is that a violence? No. Is it a force? No. It's simply an invitation. Come play. Go. Use the muchness to dig in. We have brains. We're allowed to think. We're allowed to question. Not once does God ask for blind faith. Heck, Abraham comes from a time and place where, hey, how do we prove our devotion? By giving up the thing that matters most. What's that, kid? And God can so poignantly point out, no, I'll provide my own sacrifice. Just want to make sure that you're actually in on this, because I'm going to be all in. And I really kind of enjoy that. Sorry, I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to take the brewing stand. There are two of them here. I'll take one. I try normally not to raid villages. Yeah, I know it's a lot of resources. It just... If I'm playing multiplayer, I won't. Because this is survival single player, I'm less inclined to be concerned. For now, I'm just going to leave both here because, hey, if I die while wandering around, I'd like to have, I what do you guys like to talk about? Be here and let's chat. Honestly, the only reason the muchness thing matters to me so much as it does is because I've seen so many people walk away from incredible gifts for just most heartbreaking of reasons. You have to give her a reason. Nailed it. Anyway, seriously, what'd you guys like to talk about? So right now, I'm just kind of half-heartedly wandering through this village. Yeah, the hay I'm raiding, but the villagers, to my knowledge, can't actually use hay. Can they use it? Oh, that one I have to grab, though, because saddles, I hate fishing. So, yeah, I'm just gonna raid it. It's single player, screw it. It's not an altruism thing. It's an I don't want to die in the middle of nowhere and end up having nothing in the village. Plus, if I take out certain things, then they can't reproduce, and then it just becomes a ghost town, not in the fun way. But definitely gonna enjoy the armor. Okay. I do believe I have explored everything in here. To my now, it would appear, yes, okay. So, hello. Would you looky here? Right, empty hand. Huh. Horses really are different, Bedrock versus Java, aren't they? A bit more lively in Java. Both are fun. Just very different. It's nice to have a QWERTY keyboard to commands. Come on, little horsey, make friends. I feel ride you. Oh, this is gonna be a fun pony. Yeah. It's gonna be a very fun pony. There we go. Okay. And which one? That one. Any particular part of Genesis y'all like? I'll admit I'm probably going to end at the hour mark, but I will just have this Minecraft world strictly for streaming, so if you're watching for that, it will be here as same as when left. I'm still kind of working out the kinks and getting the vibe for it. It's rather talk to, not at, you know? With even better than two. Nope. Ah, okay. I was right. At least in that thinking. And there we go. Alrighty. At least I still remember most of them. Oh, I forgot those are in Java. Certainly make things quicker, don't they? When you land them successfully. Yeah, boop. Alright. That's not actually a boop. We're just... yes. This way. Though... 507. Dataways. Got it. Okay. And how is that? There we go. Chicken with a can of cow hunt. Gotta love it. I'll probably keep these more closely to half an hour than an hour, just because at about 30 minutes it's solid stopping point, at least till getting footing on doing these a little more and getting more input, of course. I'll also try and start doing these more regularly, probably between 7 or 8. I'll put up a post seeing which time would be better for more people. So it's not just a, hey, drop of the moment, you know. Doing more, work the kinks out. Because, I mean, the last time I did any of this over 2 years ago, I think. So, yeah. And I recognize riding a bicycle and all that. Just, it'd take me a minute to find the pedals, as it were. Oh, I hate when they look at me. Oh, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Oh. Riches do straight up Minecraft streams of these. Okay, you come back over here. As in, turning off the camera. Because I am kind of totally okay doing that. Yeah. It really is. Maybe put that up as a post too. It's not like really the camera's all that necessary, but, you know, again, doing it together, so it's y'all's preference. You're the gift that keeps on giving. Get back here. Because they give meat, they give leather, and they respawn. Because doing that in any other situation is horrible wildlife preservation. That's why when they have mods like that, it's just like, we're gonna make shit. Nope, pass on that. We're going to go find stone, and away we go. Oh, that's not the kind of stone I wanted to find. That would have been painful. Alrighty then. I don't really want to build the village. There's the bed. Kind of trying to figure out what village I want to build, or where I kind of want to build. It's kind of funny with the light darkness there with the Genesis. Actually, even with the dome, because you got the whole setup there with Minecraft actually does do the dome. And then, you know, the dry ground and fur babies. After, you know, birds and all that. Then the fur babies. And us. And sometimes we're preservers of life and cultivators and making things grow. And sometimes we take all of nature and do that. So, you know, how we play it. Actually, that might be how I start doing this. Like, actually using Minecraft to talk about Genesis. I mean, granted, I really don't have any of those kind of like the world editing skills or anything like that. Like, this is going to just be straight up survival, and no, I'm not just going to come really, murdering all of the cows here. I'm trying to collect satchels so that until I find a place I actually want to stay, I can collect different resources. I just need to wait for spiders. Yeah, gotta go with the logic. Would only work for one day, but at least it gives me spares. I hear they're bringing out something akin to sleeping bags or something like that, tents, the kind of thing. I'm really hoping those go live. That would be so nice. It's like I can come running right back or not have to worry about that. Okay, here we go. Going the right way. Oop, I only have one. Thank you. Gonna grab some just because it's nice to have. It's kind of funny to think about the different styles, though. It's kind of why I like incorporating both, like not going against nature, but actually working it in. No, granted, I'm not exactly doing this right now with my Minecraft build, but one of the first builds I ever did on a friend's server actually did try and incorporate nature into the entire thing. It was a lot of fun. Ended up being mostly underwater. I don't know if I want to do it. I will come fix this later when I have enough iron to make a bucket. Although... What was the trick? Oh, that'll work. Woohoo! Again, this is a private server, or single player. There we go. I'm not playing on a server. I just don't like that kind of playing, where you just leave everything destroyed. It's, eh. Alright, make sure I'm still going the right. Yes, okay. Kind of curious what's at 0, and I don't want to just use spawn chunks. It's a very nice horse. So many chickens, but don't want them till later. New village. Okay then. At least they're less common than bedrock. Bedrock feels like you can't trip over your own 2 feet without landing in a village. I always like the different kinds of buildings and stuff they add in naturally. Like instead of modding everything, just looking at what the designers put in to play with and kind of look at. A lot of these are kind of cool. Idiot. That's a real fun one. Or are they called the Simpleton? I don't know what they're called. I just always called them Village Idiot because that's what they were called in the first server I started playing on. You have potatoes. Oh, you have beetroot. Thank you, my friend. I'm sorry to raid your stash. But I appreciate it. Here. Open this house up. Be free. Thank you for feeding me. Oh, that's what I can do. Boop. 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 Yes, I talk to my villagers sometimes. I know it's weird. At least the song. Okay. I have some dirt. I can plug your. There we go. Oh, more water everywhere. Thank you. Thank you for the wheat. We'll be shutting it down in about 9 minutes, but the more I do this, the more I'll figure out fully the style I want to do it, and it'll be a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable as well, I'd imagine. Ooh, hello. Get back here. Get back here. Why do I have a feeling that because I got you on one, the next one's gonna cost me? Ah, crap! You used bones, not. Wait, please tell me I just bypassed. Oh, please tell me I just bypassed. Nope. Nuts. Would have been so nice. Just feed a couple of wolves, have them breed, even if you don't have bones. Yeah, I don't care that much. Ooh. That might be a fun place to build. Over there. Like that. That there. Oh yeah. Probably ought to grab a seedling or two, silly. I don't get why people hate birch and granite. Like, don't get me wrong, I like pale oak way more, but it's kind of interesting just thinking about the fact that, like, day one of Genesis right there in a Minecraft world. It's not like he didn't write it everywhere though, right? Here we go. Choppity, 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 choppity. There we go. Let me guys know in the chat if you're liking more focus on the game, how you guys want to do it, what your thoughts are. Maybe even just discussing seeing my mug or not. You know what you guys think. Yeah, so if we start doing these at words, if we start doing where did that come from? If we start doing the live streams at 7, then they'll probably run till 8 or 7:30. Yeah, because I'm gonna keep them to about half an hour, so it's either be 7 to 7:30, 7:30 to 8, or 8 to 8:30. I'd like to know what you guys think. I will put up a poll so that everybody who didn't make it to this one can have their voices be heard as well. Is that a ruined portal? I swear when I hit F3, I'm just looking to be able to figure out where I am because I wanted to see what was at 0, 0. Oh, yay! And welcome. Always welcome too. I have to wait for string. I don't want to wait for string. Wow, these are chunky on... like, these are big old bees on Java, aren't they? Wow. Big old baby. Where am I? 20, no, 3, 2. Oh, I need to go back that way. And I need to go that way. Oh, but I like that. Okay, we'll see where that is. After we figure out what that purple thing was. If I can find it without being on the hill. Pumpkin seeds. You know what? Time to ride the horse through the trees. I don't want to leave the pumpkins alone at the same time. Where on earth did that purple thing go? Oh, that's gonna stink. Yep. Felt that. I want instant regret before I even finished letting go of the spacebar. Where'd the purple thing go? Maybe I just confused it for the water? Huh. If I sneezed. Alright, well then. There's pumpkins. Well, that's cool. They finally made it so that you can put leaf debris on stuff. Very cool. Alright, let's go, horse. Alright, now where? Even if I don't run to 0, 0, which is... Yeah, you can see all the stats on my computer here. 90% of this stuff I don't know what it means. Used to once, would have to think about it to remember again. Rollin', 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 get the stops a rollin', 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 roll high. Okay, 0, 0 is the middle of the water, ain't it? Yep. Okay. Ow. Is it seriously another village? It really is. As well as that one over there. I can't. Huh. Ah, there we go. Okay. So, I'm gonna call it here at this village. Oh, it's this village. Okay. So yeah, we might actually build in this area. We'll use the water over there and build sky style over there. Cool beans. So, next Wednesday, going to have fun digging in more through Genesis, probably actually spending some time with the second chapter, the second movement really. And then we will have some fun digging into that single player, and in case you were wondering, this isn't what it is. So and these are some old ones. Yeah. Old ones. Yeah, see, like I said, done it before, but would... oh boy, would I have to I remember how to ride that bicycle. And anyway, looking forward to digging in and hanging out with you more as we continue on. Should be picking up tomorrow as we continue on through Deuteronomy, God willing. Till then, may His favor be upon you. Know that you're loved, and